Let's go, let's go. Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody in. Type in the chat where you're calling in from around the world. I see we got Tennessee on the call. I am calling in from Minnesota, and we got Arizona, Minneapolis, North Dakota, Iowa, Texas, Wisconsin. So let's get it. Let's get it. Well, guys, listen, it is Wednesday, the mindset training call where we go live every single week and bring some of the best in the business to teach you guys on how to go to the next level with your mindset. Because how many people know on this call that business and entrepreneurship can be mental warfare? And so you couldn't hear it from anybody better than these two individuals tonight. I got the pleasure to meet these dudes back about 7 years ago when they were in their early 20s, just getting started, and they carried a certain aura about them where they had some people following them. They were just the cool dudes having fun. They had some skill sets. They knew how to talk to people. They knew how to build some relationships. They had some influence from the college that they were going to and the towns they grew up in. And it's just been a blast over the last 7 years watching them develop as leaders in this industry. And I know for me, I want to be looked at as one of the greatest professionals in this space. And I want to carry on the legacy from the greats that came before us. And I truly see that these two individuals right here can carry that torch as well because they build this thing the right way. They know the proper systems. They know the OG network marketing ways to go build this thing. And just an absolute pleasure to work with them. I've toured all over the world with them. We've traveled. We've done leadership retreats. We've done live events. We've done it all. And one of the main reasons I'm in the seven-figure $1 million Hall of Fame Eric Worre Go Pro is because of these individuals right here. So if it wasn't for them, I know I wouldn't be where I'm at today, and I know vice versa. They'll say the same thing. So with that being said, I'm gonna kick it over to the first speaker. Type fire emojis in the chat. Type 333. Show some love. Jay Patnode, the floor is yours. Let's get it, my brother.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it big time. Always, always very appreciative. And man, it's crazy to see how everything just comes full circle and where we're at right now, compared to when we first met 7 years ago. So we're very grateful. And because of you, we get to live a super, super dope life. We're in Bali, Indonesia right now. Josh and I decided to take off and, just kind of start traveling and see where it leads us, right? And be able to work. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we chose this industry was the not only the ability to make as much money as you possibly want, right? Choose your own income level, but also the time and location freedom, right? We've been here for I think maybe 2.5 weeks, and we're gonna probably be here for another couple of weeks. And it's just a blessing, right? I never said to impress, but to impress upon people what is possible, right? I always tell people you want to put the work in now because choosing the life that you get to live is in my opinion the most freeing thing in the entire world. And so I want to just share with you guys some of the different mindset tips and obviously the different things that have helped me along the way and build the business. A little bit about myself. I'm 28 years old. I've been in the industry for about almost 7 years now. I got started when I was in college with my business partner Josh, who you're going to hear from right after this. And for me, I was just someone that was looking for a path that led to unlimited income. That was my honest whole first goal. And the longer I've been in the industry, the more it's went from, more of a financial sense, but just the ability to one, give back to other people and share with them what has helped me over the years, but also have that freedom that we talk about all the time, because I think that's the most important thing to be happy is, having options, right? Being able to do what it is that you want. And when I first got started, when I was 21, 22 years old, a quote that really stuck with me that I didn't really understand as much as I understand now, because it's been such a long time in the industry, was as you are building your business is building you. Joey said this is just as much of a mindset game as it is, putting the actual work in, because in this industry, you are going to have, not only just in life, but in this industry, you're going to always have challenges, right? That's just how life goes. But this is just like any other business. Some people don't understand that this is truly a business. Some people get lost in the fact that, because it's only a couple $100 to get started, to have your own business in this industry, that they don't necessarily maybe see it in that light. And that's, I think, the big difference between people that win in this industry and win long term, and people that maybe just have quick runs or build a little bit of their business and make a little bit of residual income, is treating this truly like a business. If you treated this business like you had to pay $50,000 to get started, you think you'd put maybe a little bit more effort in, right? If you paid $50,000 for something, do you think you would take it serious? Put a one in the chat if you think you would take it pretty serious if you paid $50,000 to start something, or $1 million to start something, any number that's not a couple $100. And that's where, if you want to win in this industry, if you want to have success, and not just a little bit of success, but massive success and long-term success, you need to treat it as the $1 million business that this is, as the opportunity that this is. You need to start raising the bar in your life. And that's what I want to talk about here today, is how can you raise the bar within your business, within your life? If you'd love to raise the bar in every aspect, physical, mental, in every financial aspect, put a two in the chat. If that is something you want to do, if you want to learn how you can raise the bar in your business, in your life, and have massive success, let me see you put a two in the chat. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so I want to share with you guys a couple different things that help me raise the bar within my own business. And I always say, take notes. I implore you to take notes. Note takers are money makers. And I always say, take notes as if you are going to teach this stuff yourself. In network marketing, it's not about what you can just do. It's about what you can teach as well. If you can't relay this information to the next person, someone that you're helping, someone that you're mentoring, what's the point of it? Right. And so always make sure you're taking notes, and always study as if you are trying to teach or going to teach this at some period in time within your life, because you never know when you'll need this different stuff. But let's talk about raising the bar, guys, raising the bar. And what I mean by that is I want you to write down BAR, BAR, raising the bar in your life. And I'm gonna tell you what each of these stand for. The very first one is the B, and it is belief, guys. Belief. I want you to write this down. You will never have a higher success level than your belief level. You will never, I promise you, your success level will never outshine your belief level. If you do not believe that you can have success in this, if you do not believe that you are a leader, if you do not believe that you are going to become a 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure earner, then you will not achieve it. It's just very simple. That's just how the universe works, right? You might have a little bit of success. You might get lucky. There's a few people that do get lucky, but it never lasts. I've seen people that truly didn't believe, and their belief level was low, and maybe they had a little bit, maybe they got some people, they hit a rank or two, but they never stayed in the game long enough because their belief level wasn't there. And so your belief level, next is A, is activity. Next is activity. You're going to raise your activity level. And then the third one is results. And I want you to put this, let me see if I can do this really quick for you guys. I just want to show, let's see if I can go to the whiteboard. New whiteboard. Let's do this. Use classic whiteboard. All right. Can you guys see my whiteboard? Put a one in the chat if you can see it. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Perfect. 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 So I want you, I'm going to do this right here for you guys. B A R. This is raising the bar in your life. Like I said, belief, activity, results. Belief, activity, results. And so when you're looking at this, your belief fuels your activity level, right? If you don't believe, you're never going to obviously put the work in. And what is your activity level fuel? Well, your level of results. And when you get results, then you obviously have a higher level of belief, right? When you actually see the success happen, you see the work pay off. And so it all is going to start with your belief level. If you want to raise your activity level, well, you have to have a higher level of belief. You want to raise your results level, you want to have a higher level of activity. And so for you guys, how can we raise our level of belief within this industry? And I'll pause this for now. How can we raise our level of belief within this industry, guys? Well, the very first one is the law of proximity. I always tell people you can't grow in the same environment that you died at. If you're around negative people, if you're around people that aren't hustling or chasing towards a goal, if you are around people that are lowering your level of vibration and frequency, it's going to be hard to win, guys. Trust me, I know this very, very well. I love my friends. I love my family. I love the people that I grew up with, but a lot of them were just inherently negative. Every time I would talk about a way out or a business opportunity or something that I just found to be the way for us to have success in life, I don't know if that's going to work. Those things don't really work. I had a friend who traded and he lost a couple $100. Oh my God, he lost a couple $100. Wow, I feel so bad for him. I had a guy that tried that network marketing thing, and it's a pyramid. Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. Just inherently negative. So you have to change your environment. And if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you, right? You need to remove them from your inner circle. And it doesn't mean that you have to get rid of them forever. I promise you, it's okay. Like I have a lot of family members and friends that I grew up with that I love dearly, I cut them out for a season, right? And now I kind of limit how our interactions are to an extent. If they're negative, I just remove myself from the situation fairly quickly. But when you're trying to win, and especially on your first ever big run, your first ever massive change within your life, you have to remove them for a season. And so the law of proximity, surround yourself with people that raise your level of energy, raise your level of productivity. If you hang out, this was actually one of the first quotes I ever heard when I got in this industry, and it was Joey and Matt. They had said it, and it's been a constant over the years because like it's been a very constant. It's very present when I see people's level of success go up and down. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? If all the 5 people that you're closest with, if they're all drinkers, you're probably the sixth drinker. If all 5 of them are smokers, you're probably the sixth smoker. If all of them are out of shape and unhealthy, you're probably out of shape and unhealthy. But if all of them go to the gym every single day, you probably go to the gym, right? If all of them eat healthy, you probably eat healthy. If all 5 of them are getting to the bag, if they're raising their level of income in life, you're probably doing the exact same. And so the law of proximity is one way to raise your level of belief. The next one is cut the fat out your life. Not only do you need to, change the people that you're hanging around with, but just completely anything that doesn't serve you. Anything that doesn't serve you guys. Anything possible that doesn't serve you. Josh's mom, she was in network marketing. When we first got started, she had told us a quote. She said, start thinking of things every single time an opportunity presents itself. Start thinking of it in this nature and say, is this getting me closer or further away from my goals right now? Is this getting me closer or further away from my goals? And when I started looking at things in that light, when people would say, hey, do you want to come out to the bar? Or, hey, do you want to go do this? Or, hey, do you want to hang out with these people? I'd ask myself, is this getting me closer or further away from my goals? And it made the decisions honestly fairly easy, guys. Because a lot of times we know what we should and shouldn't be doing. Am I right? Like we know when we're not supposed to be doing something. We know when something's wrong. We really do. And so when we know this, when you ask that question, it becomes very, very, very simple on what you should be doing. So I want you to cut the fat out of your life. Like I said, it doesn't have to be forever, but for a season. And once you cut the fat out, I promise you, you really won't want to add it back into your life. The habits that I developed over the years from who I was previously, I don't even want them back in my life, the old habits, the old me, right? So that is how you raise your level of belief, guys. Those are 2 different ways. And now, once you raise your level of belief, what does that usually make it easier to do? Raise your level of activity. And so with activity, guys, it's simple as it sounds. You just need to do more. Whatever you are thinking of, whatever, if you said, oh, I messaged 10 people today, just do more. Message 20. If you message 30 people, if you study the charts for an hour, just do more. Because if you have a all-out massive burst of action, if you put all of your effort and intensity into a single goal, into a single action, I promise you, your level of results will raise. Because if you do anything, you will have some sort of results, guys. I want you to write this down. Every action has a reaction. Every action has a reaction. And no action is also an action that has a reaction, guys. I know it's a mouthful, but every action has a reaction, and no action is an action as well, guys. If you do nothing, there are going to be consequences. There are going to be results. See, I have friends that over the last 7 years, I've told them, come do the business with me. Come learn how to trade. Come how to do X, Y, and Z. And you know what they did? They didn't do it. But they watched me do it. And over the years, and fast forward 6, 7 years later, they're like, man, I just wish I would have started with you 6 years ago. But they also said that when I was in year 2, year 3, like, oh, I just wish I would have started when you started. And the time just kept going. See, the time is going to pass us regardless, guys. The time is always going to pass us regardless. Whether you're doing something or doing nothing, it's not going to matter. It's going to just pass and go by. So why not do something? I think about it. I think I was talking about with Tipper the other day. Shout out to Big Tip, Blue Diamond. I was talking with him yesterday. I'm like, man, how much is like since we came to Akashx about 13 months ago, how much has happened? It's crazy to think how much has happened in this 1 year, right? We just had somebody hit diamond. We just had somebody hit blue diamond. We had multiple people hit rubies this month, and we were talking. We're like, man, it is crazy because this last year we could have been doing nothing. We could have been doing not this. We could have chose not to come here and partner up with Matt and Joey, right? We could have chose not to do these things, and the time was going to pass regardless. It's like an alternate universe, right? Like the multiverse, right? It's we think about it, and so understand that every action has a reaction. So start thinking of the things that you do with more consequence. Understand that you missing the gym that day, you eating that donut, you not jumping on these calls. We have 54, 55 people on this call when in all reality, we could have hundreds and hundreds of thousands and thousands of people on these calls. But those are the people that are choosing no action. And guess what they're going to get? Some sort of reaction, right? Positive or negative, you never know until the end. And so understand that a crazy burst of action, I promise you will see some sort of results. And then to finish off, the BAR, raising your level of results after you raise your level of activity, that's what's going to fuel your belief level. And it's just going to go over and over and over. Because what happens once you win? Once you win a little bit, you're like, okay, I know that this is the right thing for me. You believe that you're gonna have success, so you message 20 people. Out of those 20 people, a couple of those different people, they respond. You get a sign up. Oh wow, okay, cool. This thing does work, right? Raises your level of belief again. Now you put more action into it. Then you get more results. Then it really raises your level of belief again. So you guys can see it all just starts with raising the bar, raising your level of belief and activity. And so before I pass it off to Josh, I want to talk about a couple different things that I just like I've realized over the year. And for whatever season you are in your business, we talk about like activity, we talk about like action, we talk about productivity, but I want you to ask yourself, are you productive or busy? This was something I heard in my second year of being in network marketing because they always say, you show me your calendar, I'll show you your income, right? If I say, hey, like I want to win, right? Or you tell me, hey, I want to win, I want to have success. Why is this not working for me? I'm like, well, let me see your calendar. Well, I don't have one, is what a lot of people used to tell me back in the day. I don't have one. And so I tell them, let me see your calendar. If your calendar is not packed out, there's a reason why you're not winning. You needed to be doing the calls. And when I first heard that, I was like, oh yeah, I need my calendar packed out. I planned every single minute of my day. I was like, all right, I'm going to study this at this time. I'm going to go to the gym at this time. I'm going to start prospecting at this time. And then I looked at my calendar, and when I heard this, are you productive or are you busy? And I was like, oh man, there's just a lot of BS on here. I wasn't actually doing the things that it took to have success. What do we get paid for in this business? What do we get paid for in this business? We get paid, and everybody has their own definitions of it, but we get paid to share the opportunity with people and help them share the opportunity with people. We get paid to help people achieve their goals, right? We share the opportunity. If people want to go ahead and get started, awesome. Congratulations. Let's run it up. Let's do it. Let's help them to the best of our ability. If they don't, oh, well, right? Billions of people around this world. And if all you need is a little market share of it to have freedom, then, that's what we need to do. But understanding that, start looking at your calendar if it is packed out and ask yourself, are you productive? Are you busy? Yes, the mindset calls are great. I love these. I love doing these because this is what helped elevate me over the years. But also, are you doing the actual work that it takes to get paid in this industry? And when you start realizing that, you're like, man, I can dial it into a few different things and what I need to do to have success in this industry. But at the end of the day, the work works. And I want you to start asking yourself, are you productive or are you busy? You could be at the gym for an hour, or you could be at the gym for 2 hours, right? I know people that spend a long time in the gym, but if they're chatting the whole entire time, if they took 30 water breaks, if really all they spent was 45 minutes in the sauna instead of actually weight training or doing anything of the above, were they really, were they really putting the work in? Or somebody can spend 35 minutes in the gym going as hard as they possibly can, 45 minutes, half the time, and achieve a better, health goal or result or whatever you want to call it, right? So it's not about just how much time you spend on stuff, but it's about the level of intensity, productivity that you're putting into your days. And so obviously, guys, we're all just here to become the best versions of ourselves, right? Financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, we're here. I think that's what most people get into this industry for. Yeah, the money is definitely a big thing, but I think we are here to become the best versions of ourselves, and that just starts with everything that we do here. It's just a part of. I don't think anybody becomes successful in this industry without becoming, the best version of themselves. It is a journey for success in here. And so, the last thing I want to leave you guys off before I pass it over to my business partner is for all of my leaders that have been in the industry for a long, long time. This is something I was going to talk about because we do like a platinum and above call where we talk to the leaders and things like that. And um, is the people who got you, where you are here today aren't the same people that's going to get you where you're going to go tomorrow or where you're going tomorrow. I feel like we get so caught up on the people that we are currently with. And yes, I love all my people to death and I want to help them succeed. But I know that if they are not putting the effort in, they're not putting the work in, I need to keep doing what I need to do to elevate the people that do want to have success. I look at the people that are on my team, the leaders that I have here today, not a single one was here when we first hit our first ever six-figure rank, right? Not a single one. Not a single one. One, I think he just came back not too long ago, but not a single person was here for this one. And it makes you realize that the business is forever changing. It's forever changing. But you know what the constant was? Josh and I, we stayed put, right? We stayed put and became the shopping mall, right? We became the shopping mall analogy that we talk about. Who makes the most money? The stores in there that come in and out, or the shopping mall, the actual shopping center, the person that stays set. And so I want to leave you off with this. Doesn't matter who's here today. Doesn't matter who was here yesterday, a year ago. Akashx looks completely different than it does a year ago. Doesn't matter who's here a year from now. It matters that you stay and put the work in and allow yourself the time to have success. And I promise you that you will get whatever it is that you want in this world because this industry can provide it. It has done that for not only myself, but so many people all around the world. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it to our next speaker. Do not go anywhere. This is a man that, when I tell you, he has studied the network marketing game to a T. He can teach you how to get from A to Z. He can teach you everything technical, but also mindset because he has been someone that has consumed hours and hours and hours and days and days and days worth of information and knowledge. And he's one of the best teachers that I have ever met in my life. I'm just blessed to be able to have him as a brother and a business partner. But if you haven't started taking notes, make sure you do this for this next speaker. He is someone that has helped tens of thousands of people all around the world on these exact things that are needed to have success. And so, with no more further ado, I introduce you my brother, a business partner, my best friend, Mr. Joshua Amundson.
Hey, come on,
let's go.
Drop some ones in the chat for Jay Patnode, man. Going absolutely crazy. I appreciate him. One thing that he said that I love is he talked about the shopping mall analogy, right? I think the last excuse my language, guys, the last 4 weeks though, I've been like, if people just stuck around long enough to see themselves win, they would win. But so many people just give up right before they're about to have their breakthrough. So, like Jay said, I mean, everybody who's on our team, for the most part, I mean, these aren't even the first people that were a part of our first six-figure run, right? You just got to keep sticking around and you'll win. So I appreciate you, Jay. But guys, we'll go ahead and dive into it. My name is Josh Amundson. I am 28 years old. Let me grab this water real quick. I'm 28 years old though. Like Jay said, we're out in Bali, Indonesia right now. We're just working out of Airbnbs. It's Joey Wilson said a long time ago, it's a laptop lifestyle, right? You can do this from anywhere in the world as long as you got an internet connection. You might need to get, an international data plan, but no, it's very awesome being out here. And obviously, guys, this is the mindset call. We have calls throughout the week. You got to get plugged into the schedule, okay? But I mean, we have business building calls, we have opportunity calls, we have mindset calls. They're all important for you to be a part of, okay? If you are skipping the company calls, right? If you're skipping leadership calls, mindset calls, opportunity calls, if you're not plugged in and around the fire, you're not going to win. That's just the reality of it. You have to treat this like a job. Excuse me. You have to treat this like a job until you know what it means to actually be a business owner. A lot of you haven't started a business before, right? My first business, I was 13 years old and I'm 28 now. Okay. I know what it means to be a business owner, but when I first started this industry, I didn't. I had to treat it like a job. I had to tell myself, I'm going to fire myself if I don't show up to these calls. I'm not going to have success and I'm going to get fired from this industry if I don't do my daily goals. Prospect 10 people a day, follow up with 10 people a day, 3 to 5 presentations, go through the academy, take notes, hop on a trading session. If I didn't do those things, I had to tell myself I was going to fire myself, right? And so, in terms of mindset, though, one of the first things that I heard, I believe it was Joey Wilson that I heard say, but and Jay might have touched on it too. But some of the people you're spending 10 hours with, yeah, you got to start spending 10 minutes with. I'll say that again. Some of the people that you're spending 10 hours with, you need to spend 10 minutes with. And some of the people that you're spending 10 minutes with, you got to start spending 10 hours with them. Okay. Now, this kind of falls under the same category as you're the average of the top 5 people you spend the most time with, right? Jay talked about this. You need to make sure that you're around people that are, making more money than you, that are healthier than you, that are closer to your goals than you. You know what I mean? If you're hanging around a bunch of people that are lower than you in terms of like certain areas, they're just going to pull you down. Guys, listen to this, right? When I first got started in this industry, the guy who got us started, he put me and Jay on a FaceTime call with Joey Wilson and Matthew Thayer, right? We were 20 years old. They were like 27 or something. And this guy puts us on a FaceTime call with Joey Wilson and Matt. And he's like, Joey, Matt, this is my guys, Josh and Jay. Like they're out in Fargo, North Dakota. They're going to be the next top earners. I guarantee it, blah, blah, blah. And Joey looked at me and Jay and was like, guys, listen, he was like, that's cool and all, but he's like, I'm deaf in this industry. He's like, I don't hear a thing you're saying. Now show me. Right. And honestly, guys, like we didn't hear a peep from these two. We didn't hear a peep from Joey or Matt until we went out and we actually hit a $2,000 a month rank. Then we got a call from Joey and Matt saying, hey man, looks like you guys are serious. We're ready to run it up to you, right? The student doesn't choose the mentor appears when the student is ready. Okay. They don't want to coach and mentor people that are going to potentially pull them down. People that are making 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, they're careful on who they even allow themselves to be around. They don't want to get pulled down. You have to level yourself up in order to start changing the top 5 people who are around you. Okay. You don't just get to choose to have 5 millionaires around you because you want it. Right? They don't want to hang out with people that are low energy, low vibration, low income. You got to start working on yourself. That's why it's important to stay plugged into these calls because we are here to transfer this information to each and every single one of you. Okay. So, excuse me. So that's one of the first things, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to talk about. Now, one of the other things I wanted to mention too is this. Okay. We talk about something called the dot on the wall analogy. Okay. It's called the dot on the wall. What I want you to do is wherever you're sitting right now, I want you to look at the wall and pretend there's a dot on it. Just pick a spot. Okay. And now if I told you your goal is to stare at this dot as long as you possibly can without looking away, right? All of us are going to be able to stare for a little bit. We're going to be able to stare at the dot, stare at the dot, stare at the dot. But naturally, the human eye is going to start looking away. The objective of this is how fast can you snap back to the dot on the wall? You know what the dot on the wall is? That's your daily goals. That's your consistency. That's your prospecting. That's doing what you're supposed to do every single day. That's the dot on the wall. So we talk to our team and we're like, guys, you got to have your eye on the dot on the wall. You got to be staring at the dot on the wall. Your goal as a leader is to get your team to stare at the dot on the wall as long and consistent as possible. Keep everyone focused. Right. So I always use that analogy to explain people the level of focus that we got to have in order to win. Right. It's the dot on the wall. You got to stay focused. Right. Another thing that I want to get into, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for those of you that aren't taking notes, this might be a little difficult for you to comprehend, but I would really, really, really write this stuff down. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys something that if you can understand this, it's going to change your entire life. Okay. Before I get into it, I want you guys to write down 4 words. Okay. Just write down 4 words on a piece of paper. The first word is thoughts. Okay. Thoughts, right? The second word is feelings. So thoughts and then feelings. The third word is actions. And the fourth word is results. Okay. I'm gonna put these in the chat. So the first word is thoughts. Okay. Second word is feelings. Third word is actions. Fourth word is results. Okay. This is one of the most important things to understand about mindset in entrepreneurship, in life. It is this right here, what I'm going to talk about. Okay. And I guarantee almost every single top earner can attest to this, that this is one of the most important things you could possibly learn. Okay. It was actually taught by an individual named Bob Proctor. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull open this image. All right. You guys should be able to see this right now. Can you guys see this image right here? Yeah, we can see this. Okay. So the first part right here is thoughts. Okay, that is the first part, right? Now, your thoughts, what comes into your mind? How does the human mind receive information? How do we take in information? It is through the 5 senses: touch, taste, smell, see, hear. That is how we take in, information into our brain, right? And so as we start taking in this information around the world, it starts to form a subconscious mind. When we take in information, it makes you feel a certain way, right? Like if I told you guys that, every single one of us is going to get, and this is not true, but every single one of us is going to get a past $200,000, funded account. Everyone would be super freaking excited, right? I told you a piece of information, you heard it with your ears, one of the 5 senses, and it made you feel excited. If I told you something negative, that would also make you feel negative, right? You take in information, it makes you feel a certain way. Now, the way that we feel determines the action that we take. Jay was talking about this. It determines the actions we take, and the actions we take determine the results we get. All right, so I want you to put this in perspective, okay? When we are growing up, when we're living our life, people start listening to bad music. They start getting bad friends. They get involved in drugs and alcohol. They maybe play bad video games. Maybe they have an abusive parent. Maybe they have an abusive relationship, whatever. Negative things can happen, right? And that makes people start feeling a certain way, usually negative. This causes them to take more negative actions in their life, which gives them negative results. So what I'm trying to say here to you, ladies and gentlemen, is it all starts at the thoughts, the conscious mind. We have to be so careful on what we let into our brain. You have to be careful on what music you listen to. If you listen to negative music all the time, you're going to feel negative. You're going to take negative actions to get negative results, right? You got to be careful on the people you're hanging around. Guys, like Jay said, I have friends that I grew up with, right? Childhood best friends. And they just are negative. They can't stop talking about negative stuff, complaining about this, talking, smack about people all the time, blah, 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 right? Negative, negative, negative. Eventually, when I learned this, I had to tell them, I'm like, dude, I can't hang out with you until you fix your attitude. And I was like, because you're impacting my long-term results. You see what I'm saying? They're impacting my long-term results. I was like, you have to be positive. You have to be motivated. You have to be fun, excited, pleasing. I need to listen to good music. I need to watch good TV shows. I need to listen to personal development. I need to be around top earners so I can think positive thoughts, start feeling in a positive way, take the right actions, and get the right results. I started being very careful on what I let into my ears, what I allow myself to watch, what I allow myself to say, who I'm around, because I see how it controls the results of your life. You have to protect your conscious mind and your subconscious mind if you really want to win at a high level. This is what Bob Proctor taught. Guys, I was 21 years old when I first heard this, and I remember the individual who was teaching it. He was like, listen to this video as many times as you need to understand this. He was like, listen to it, listen to it, listen to it. Once you understand this, you can achieve and obtain anything you want in life. And so I just kept listening to it, and eventually it clicked. And I was like, wow, this makes so much sense, guys. So that I just wanted to touch on that. So it's a super, super important thing. I also want to talk about, I think Jay might have touched on this as well, but he kind of broke down this. Your current results that you have in this business equals your current identity, right? Whoever you think you are, you probably have similar results to who you think you are. That's usually the case for most people. If you're not making any money, you're probably, maybe not okay with it, but that's your current identity. That's the current value you're bringing to the company. That's the current level of action you're taking. If you want to increase your current results, how much money you're making, how big your team is, how much income you're taking in from trading, you need to change your identity, who you think you are, right? A lot of times people that grew up in, low income, areas that didn't grow up with a lot of money, and they grew up with family members that didn't have a lot of money too, usually they're okay with not having a lot of money and they're comfortable with it because it's what they know. You know what I mean? And then you find people, and this isn't always the case, right? You find people that grew up in super high income, environments and families and blah, blah, blah. And they just already think they're a rich person. And 9 times out of 10, they end up becoming rich. I truly believe that if you want to increase your results inside of this business, you got to change your identity. Who do you think you are? Are you someone that always loses, never has enough money, can barely pay the bills? Are you someone that's, thinking that you never get lucky, right? Is that your identity? Because if that is, that's probably your results. Or are you someone that's like, I know I'm destined to be a 6 or 7 figure earner. I know I'm destined to take care of my family. I know that I'm meant to be wealthy. I'm meant to travel the world. I'm meant to make a big, big impact. Your identity is going to equal your results. So what can you do to start changing this? Does anybody know what you can do to start changing the way you think about yourself? Drop it in the chat. What's one way you can do it? What are some ways that you can start changing how you think about yourself? Positive self-talk. Come on, baby. Affirmations. Let's go. Come on. Let's get fired up. Affirmations. That was the one I'm really going after. Okay. What did I start doing? So I realized I had to change my identity back like years ago. Right. So every single time that I go take a shower, right? When I'm in the shower, I say 10 positive out loud affirmations every single time without miss. I am smart. I am happy. I'm a top earner. I'm a top trader. I am one of the best network marketers in the world. I'm healthy. I'm honest. I'm happy. I say 10 things, right? You could also say reasons you're grateful, but you have to start saying this. You guys ever heard this quote though? If you tell a lie enough times, it starts to feel like it's the truth. You guys ever heard that quote? Tell a lie enough times, it starts to become the truth. Well, when you start saying these positive affirmations, if you've never done it before, it's going to feel like you're telling yourself a lie. You're going to be like, I am wealthy. You're going to be like, ugh, like what? You have to keep saying it over and over and over and over and over every single day until your brain starts to literally believe that's actually who you are. Because guess what? Then on the 1, 2, 3, 4 year stretch, it becomes reality as long as you're backing it up with daily goals, daily action, and consistency. You guys got to change what you think you are. You got to raise your identity so you can raise your results. Super, super important. Okay. Now, I want to mention this to you as well. All right. Guys, we all have the ability to have success in here. Oh, geez. There's mosquitoes flying around.
Thank you.
We all have the ability to have success in here. Okay. Everyone is different in this industry, right? I mean, sometimes when people get started, they look at like top earners and they're like, oh, you're just lucky because, XYZ, you have this, you look like this, blah, blah, blah. Right. Well, the reality is, guys, is like, if you were to have seen this entire, journey of all these top earners, you would be shocked. Right. For example, guys, like if you saw Joey and Matt when they were brand new, they are not the same Joeys and Matts that you met when they got started, man. They were dorks. Joey says it all the time. They were just goofballs, man, just trying to figure it out, right? You have to be consistent and work on yourself for years in order to build the image that you have in your head of who you can be. You know what I mean? Anybody can have success here. We've seen it across every country, every ethnicity, every religion. I mean, we've seen so many people have success in this industry, right? But what I want to say is this, okay? There is somebody that's in this company and in the world that has a bigger excuse than you. They're dumber than you. They are less knowledgeable about this industry. They have more problems in their life, but they're having a ton of success. I'm going to say that again. There's somebody in this company, in this industry that is less educated than you. They have bigger excuses than you. They have more failures, more problems, but they have tons of success. If they can do it, so can you. You don't know what goes on in every single person's life, guys. We all got problems. We all have stuff that's happening, right? It's about your daily choices, your daily decisions, man. You know, Jay mentioned this, but where you are right now with your results, it's because of the decisions or lack of decisions you made 2 to 3 years ago. Right? Where you're going to be in 2 to 3 years from now is all dependent on the decisions or lack of decisions you make right now. Okay, that's the only difference, right? It's super, super important. Okay, now I'm going to teach you guys something, all right? How do you win in network marketing? This is a mindset call. Okay, I want to give you the best mindset you possibly can. All right, here's how you win. I learned this from Eric Worre, guys. Okay, I think it might have been Matt Morris actually. How to win in network marketing. This is the secret of how to win. Okay, you have to be willing to work for an extended period of time without seeing any physical results. Knowing that the results are coming, knowing that you're secretly already gaining results, right? You're growing in sales, mindset, communication, leadership. You're growing in consistency. You're growing the rooting system of what you need to actually support and hold up a business that you're trying to grow that's going to be that big. Right? So I'm going to say it one more time. This is the secret. All right. For those of you that quit and give up, it's because you didn't write this down. You didn't take notes on this. Okay. The secret to winning in network marketing is you have to be willing to work for an extended period of time. That could be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years without seeing any physical results. No money coming into from the compensation plan. Maybe you're not passing your challenge accounts. You have to keep going. Leaders on your team quit. People are, dropping. Keep going. You have to keep going for an extended period of time without seeing any physical results, no rewards, knowing that they're coming. That's why I just said earlier, guys, I just wish people stuck around long enough to see themselves actually win. Oh my gosh. Think about it, guys. This new compensation plan dropped, right? And think about everybody that quit before the compensation plan dropped. You're like, oh my God, dude. If you just stuck around longer, you'd be winning so big right now. Anybody got anybody on their team? And like, if they saw what was going on right now, they would freak out. Oh my God, I feel so bad. Like Landon said, I feel terrible. It sucks, guys. But that's why Jay said, you got to be the shopping mall. Stay put and never, ever be a store in the mall. Be the shopping mall that never, ever leaves, guys. Okay. I'm gonna kind of end it out of this, guys, because we've been on here for a decent amount of time. But I want to tell you guys something that I never want you to forget. Okay, I never want you to forget what I'm going to tell you guys right now on this call. All right, now even though I'm telling you this right now, you might still do this same thing. You might forget about this. Okay, so it's important to never forget this. Do your absolute best. Okay. So I got into entrepreneurship when I was around 13 years old, right? I got into like hacking video games. I was starting to get into other, online businesses, right? I had terrible grades in school, but I was obsessed with trying to figure out ways to make money. Okay. I tried out lots of stuff, right? And I took, the problem was I wasn't seeing the success I wanted to, even into my later teens, early 20s, when I started network marketing, eventually trading, I wasn't seeing the success I wanted. Right. So what did I do? I had these dreams of the success I wanted, but since I wasn't seeing the results I wanted, I took my dreams and I put them on the shelf and I went back to working a job. I went back to, my normal life. I took my dreams, I put them on the shelf. Right. Thank God I did personal development though throughout this whole time, because through personal development, I got the courage to grab my dreams off the shelf and put them back in real life and go after it again, right? I got the courage to do it again because I did personal development. At that point in time, guys, I got involved in another business. All right. I took my dreams off the shelf. I got involved in another business. Okay. And what happened is I didn't see results again. And I put my dreams back on the shelf again. Right. And so if you're on this call, I have a question for you. Okay. If you're on this call, I have a question for you guys. Have you currently put your dreams on the shelf? Are your dreams on the shelf or are you actually going after them right now? Okay. if you're on this call, I want you to take your dreams off the shelf and go do it. Get it done, guys. The more you keep putting your dreams on the side, you're like, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to eventually, run it up. The longer you do that, the older you get and the less likely it is to happen. You got to take your dreams off the shelf right now and go after your goals and dreams. Block everything out of your life. Cut the fat. Make a decision. Hang around people. There's a quote we heard: if I can't build with you, I can't chill with you. Right? You guys got to take your dreams off the shelf and go after it. And so the reality is this, okay? I'm gonna close out of this, okay? I want you just to think to yourself this, okay? Who are the most important people in your entire life? I want you to think about who they are right now. Your most important people in your entire life. Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Is it your brother, your sister, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, your aunt? Is it your kids? Is it your best friends? Who's the most important people in this business? Who are you doing this for? Right? And I want you just to think about this, okay? Who in your life are you going to save if you go all in and actually have success here in Akashx? Who are you going to save in your life? Are you going to save your future children's lives? Are you going to save your parents, be able to retire them? Are you going to save your siblings? Who are you going to save if you go all in? And I want you to think about this too. Who in your life is going to continue to suffer if you quit and give up? Who in your life is relying on you secretly, even though they won't tell you? Who is going to continue to suffer if you don't go all in and win? Okay, guys, my prayer for you, okay, my prayer for everyone on this call is I want you to be able to work without seeing physical results, knowing that they are coming. Okay. And I want you to keep the most important people that you're doing this for close to you at all times. Keep them in the background of your phone. Keep them on the background of your desktop and your computer. You got to keep pictures and images of the most important things around you. So when times get tough, you don't give up. Okay, guys. So I appreciate you so much. Everyone on this call, make sure that you and your teams know that these calls are every single week, guys. We got to duplicate these. We got to get every single person in Akashx to attend these calls, guys. Because I tell you what, the amount of top earners that are about to pop in the next week, 2, 3, 4 is crazy, man. I know Joshua Wheaton right now on the Blue Diamond Run, baby. Let's go. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your night. It's 9:53 a.m. for me. We're going to go get the day started, and I will see you later. Peace.